the tables do turn.
What do you think happens when you die in a dream? It's time to find out.
I wanted to start with the dream sequences. So there's a lot of dream sequences in the film, and Scott Derrickson shoots with those amazing Super 8 cameras, and those scenes seem so physically demanding for you, both
Yeah.
when Ethan Hawke is coming at you and when you're kind of fighting for yourself. I'm curious how you shot those scenes, in particular those when you're kind of fighting against nothing, I guess, and if being shot with the Super 8 cameras changed your performance at all.
Well, with the Super 8 cameras, there was a lot of risk with my performance, like it could have came out totally grainy and just like you wouldn't be able to like even see my acting, which was definitely scary when it came to shooting with that because, they'd send it in over the weekend to be processed and we would just like pray that the scene turned out like good and like that you could see what was going on. So that was scary filming with Super 8, but also, a lot of the times with the action sequences, especially with the kitchen scene mostly, I was working with a guy in a green suit. So I feel like that was definitely hard working alongside someone that's like not supposed to be there. But also there was a lot of rehearsing. Like we did a lot of stunt rehearsals and I was on wires a lot of the time and everything about that is very precise. So I feel like the rehearsing was definitely the most important, but also having to like I feel like the challenge was having to make that seem natural.
Hmm.
So that was probably the most challenging part.
Yeah, I did want to talk about your kind of like upgraded role in this movie, and how it corresponds with both like your age in real life, but then also like age of Gwen. So in the first movie, it's kind of more like of a middle school horror film, and this you and Finn are kind of like high school characters now. What was that like to undertake a more prominent leading role? And was there a particularly challenging part of that, of like kind of leading a big budget, like high profile horror film that you're really proud of accomplishing?
I mean, I'm so beyond proud of the entire movie and like the crew. Oh my God, I don't know what we would have done without them. Like seriously, we all stuck together so drastically, especially throughout that the climate that we worked in was so challenging. And so, I mean, it wouldn't have been done if the crew wasn't giving it their all the entire time. But no, I was definitely really scared. Going into shooting, I was so nervous. I expressed my nerves to Scott, and he was like, Maddie, what are you nervous for? Like, we wouldn't have written these scenes if we didn't know you could do it. And so it was awesome having Scott kind of be like, my confidence booster the entire time. Didn't take away the nerves really, but it made me so happy and made me feel a lot more calm knowing that he believed in me. I feel like I feel like no one would be able to do that if your director didn't believe in you. So. Yeah, it was definitely challenging, very scary and nerve-wracking. I had to take myself to a really dark place for a lot of the scenes, and I mean, it really tested my abilities as an actress. And I mean, yeah, I'm just so like beyond lucky to have gotten to work with a director that truly trusted me and we were able to be really open and honest with each other when doing those really challenging scenes, which I feel like you really need. And it came out so beautifully on camera. So I'm so beyond proud of everyone that worked on the film and I'm so proud of the way it came out in general. So
I know that finale has kind of shades of an old 80s film, Curtains, but there's also shades of other horror films throughout Black Phone 2, Nightmare on
yeah,
Elm Street,
a lot
in
of Easter eggs
particular.
and
Yeah,
tribute. So.
a lot of Easter eggs, The Shining and things like that. I'm wondering if you and Scott discussed any of the horror films that like Black Phone 2 was influenced by, and if you refer to any of those as kind of quote unquote homework to prepare for your role in this film.
I mean, there's this one horror movie that Scott told me one of the scenes reminded him of, and I was like, oh, like, should I watch it? I'm gonna watch it now that you said that. And he was like, Maddie, don't. That movie will traumatize you, and I don't want it to ruin you. And I want you to stay this like happy, spirited person that you are. So don't watch it. I have it on my list of horror movies, I could like check and maybe look for the name right now, but I don't want to waste our time. But no, I also didn't want to watch A Nightmare on Elm Street before filming because I didn't want it to like affect or impact my performance in any way because I really wanted everything to be so truly different from that movie because I knew a lot of people were going to be like, oh, it's like it's got similarities to Nightmare on Elm Street, but I did watch it after, and that movie is definitely one of my favorite horror movies. I consider it more fun than
Yeah.
scary. But yeah, no, it's definitely really cool how it kind of does a lot of tributes to
Mm.
classic 80s horror movies. I feel like that's what helped it have that super fun, classic 80s vibe.
Mm.
Especially with the Super 8. That probably was a major factor in that effect.